Hello and welcome back to another video for Final Fantasy XIV. This then a quick guide on how the Blacklist, Mutelist and obviously the blocked term list works. These are new features added in Dawntrail to basically make your play experience a lot better if unfortunately you are a recipient of any kind of abuse or any kind of player interactions that you no longer want to be a part of. For this demonstration I'm on my alternate character. I'm going to remove my girlfriend from my alt character's friend list and then we're going to demonstrate this. You cannot obviously add somebody to your blacklist if they're on your friends list, so just bear that in mind, it will not let us. So let's skip on to when she's unfriended and go from there. Okay, with Fran no longer on our friend list, as you can see she's typing whispers here. This is so that I can easily access this. Obviously if this was a party message or something like that I'd be able to do just the same. And as you can see I can add her to my blacklist. This is a demonstration of the new feature then of the blacklist. We can have 200 people on this. As soon as I press yes, not only does she get added to the blacklist, but all messages will be muted from her and I will no longer be able to see her player model if she is outside of a party. Of course, the ideal situation would be exactly this, just in the open world. If somebody is photobombing you or trying to harass you in the game, you can of course make them completely disappear. This is such a cool feature and it's something that's been long overdue in my personal opinion. We can even right click or subcommand their name and leave yourself a comment of why you banned them, basically added them to your blacklist. So for example, if somebody changed their name, then it would simply remind you of who that is. Really nice feature. Let's remove her, and as soon as we remove her, she is back again. And of course, there we have more options. Let's add her to our mute list now. The mute list is a similar sort of situation, only we can still see her player model. Only, as you probably would imagine, any messages that she types will be muted completely. Essentially we will not see them. It says basically unable to see messages due to her being on our mute list. And of course we can add 200 people to that mute list, which is pretty good. Again, if you need to mute more than 200 people, then that's probably a bit of a situation. Of course they're separate lists, so it's not like you need to have everybody on your mute list and everybody on your blacklist. They are separate lists. Then we've got the block terms, which I honestly think needs to have more than 10 terms. But let's say we wanted to add the word sausages to our mute list. As you can see, Fran typed that in the chat. If something in the chat is something we want to add, we can right click or subcommand it in the chat and it will automatically copy and paste that for us, so we don't have to type it ourselves. And then we can press tick boxes of where we don't want to see that, if we wanted them in separate filters for shout, chat or whatever it might be. And as you can see, if you go on your term list, it now says sausages is a blocked term, and it says messages cannot be received because it's on your blocked term list. So that's completely separate from anything else. This will mean that you can obviously filter out these system messages in your chat menu. It means that you never have to see the word club or RP or selling or guild. You know, there's obviously ways that people get around this, especially since there are only 10 term filters. But say for instance you don't want to see endless advertisements for certain things or other messages in a chat, you don't have to anymore, which is really cool. And of course if we remove sausages again, you'll see that every time that Fran says sausages, it will pop back up. Now, I just wanted to demonstrate in a party as well, because it's slightly different. Imagine you're in a duty. It's exactly the same thing. We're going to right click and we're going to add her to our blacklist. So Fran's in the party with us and we've blacklisted her, which ordinarily if she was outside of the party she'd be removed. Instead, she is just renamed to Unknown 01. And of course this would apply for any other people that are on your blacklist. It'd go Unknown 02, 03 and so on and so forth. All messages are obviously hidden from her while she's in the party with us, but it's still a necessity for you to be able to see her character. For example, if I'm healing a run and we still have to complete the run, then of course I would need to see her player character model to be able to target it right through the party list. But yeah, I don't think this is a situation you'll get yourself into that often. But yeah, and then obviously you can temporarily display messages. This applies to the mute list as well. You just subcommand them when they've typed something and temporarily allow it. And you can also hide messages again. And if you press that, then obviously it goes back to being hidden. I really think these features are great. It's a real sad story when we need to have features like this, but it's just better, you know, the better protection of the player base instead of having to rely on, you know, external means, and it can potentially solve a lot of situations. There's also a lot of features we'll have to look at in another video to do with how you can kick people out of your estate and you can basically stop them from entering. That's for another time, but I thought this was an interesting one. It's as simple as that, and Limsa Lominsa is going to be a lot smoother and quieter for me personally. But there we go. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, thank you so much. Many more on the way from Dawntrail, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.